Guys, it's Maymay, and if you watched our Thursday video, I showed you this new die that we got in from Gina Marie, and I told you guys I saw something I wanted to try and ask if you wanted to see me do it, and you said yes. So I've not tried it. We're going to do it together. I'm using a lot of things. I don't normally do my videos like this, but I thought I would show you because you might want to know what I'm going to use today. So I'm going to use paper from this Fall Breeze paper pad, which is super pretty, this plaid, plus another one, but I don't know what yet. I've got 4 shades of fall colors because when you're using this kind of die, well, for me, not everybody, you can do it any way you want, but I'm going to use 4 different colors to create this die, kind of like we did the quilted one before, and I'm going to use these perfect pearls. This is what I saw done, and I want to kind of mimic it. I've got out my Versamark and my Perfect Medium because I think I'm going to use Versamark this time. I did the Perfect Medium last time. It was pretty light hold, so I'm going to go with Versamark this time. All of this build up, right? My mister, my brush, and we're ready to go. But I was watching, I am on Instagram. Instagram is my very favorite social media right now. It's just fun and easy to watch, and I just love it. And we're posting a lot over there, and I'm enjoying it. So I subscribe to a hashtag. If you've never subscribed to a hashtag before, I want to tell you how to do that. It might be confusing, but on Instagram, you can follow hashtags, and I follow one called card making. And so I get lots of inspiration from lots of people who do card making. And one person had used perfect pearls on a leaf, and that's where this inspiration came from. All right, the first thing I want to do is measure this guy. I'm looking for a ruler. It's right here. I'm going to measure this entire thing so I can know how much paper I need to use. So this guy is a little over 4 inches square. So I'm going to cut some 4.5 by 4.5 inch pieces out of these 4 colors so we can run the die through it. So I've got my A plate, magnetic plate, and B plate here. And each of these colors, I'm going to cut the die from it. So I need 4 different colors to create the look I want. So I'm going to do each of these colors I showed you. Actually, it's 5 colors. I forgot. I need one more. Because let me explain it to you. The leaf is going to be a color. These pieces around it are going to be a color. These little slats in here are going to be a color. These squares will be a color. And the lines that it's going to cut that are kind of like the window, almost like the stained glass lead, if you can imagine it like that, that's going to be a color. So I really need 5 colors. So should have thought of that. All right, I'm going to run this through. Y'all, this is the Brutus Monroe cardstock. It is thick and rich, and you have to have some power. That is the nicest cardstock. So there's one cut. Now, some of the pieces are staticking to my plate. I don't want to lose any of the pieces because except for this outside square, I really don't need it. But if you cut it nice and square, save that for something else. What I need are the pieces from this die. And even though I'm going to make 1 today, I can use these pieces and make 5 because I'm using 5 different cardstocks. Does that make sense? I can mix them up and I'll get one that looks one way, but the rest will all look another way. So I'm going to continue cutting and I'm going to cut 4 more of these. I've already almost messed you guys up. I'm not going to cut all 5 of them right now. I'm going to cut 4 of them, but the one that is the leaf, which is my dark brown, I'm not going to cut it yet. I'll show you why in just a second. Now, the reason I decided not to run this one through just yet is because this is the one that's going to get the perfect pearls treatment, okay? I only need the brown for this particular quilt, so I'm going to focus in the middle area and not do the entire sheet, but you could do the entire sheet if you needed. Now, I told you earlier, I used my Perfect Medium the last time I did this, and I don't know, it's a little drier to me. Then, I don't know, this one feels pretty juicy. I don't know. I just want to try the Versamark this time and see if it does anything different. I looked online. People have their opinion. They all use something different, so I'm going to try it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to smash this guy, maybe even rub it all over the page or all over where I want to put my perfect pearls. May not be the exact way to do it. I don't know. I'm just going to try it. This is one of those kind of mixed media things that I rarely do, and you probably see why. Okay, so I got that on. I'm going to close this up. And now what I'm going to do, again, something a little different, I am going to use some perfect pearls. Now, I found last time that by using it out of the cap, I did better because I didn't get so much. And you're actually supposed to apply this and then brush it off with this brush, but this works the same for me. So I'm going to come in and just kind of calico, let's call it calico. I'm going to come in and spot this with the perfect pearls. I'm not covering the whole thing. I just want to spot it because when that leaf is done, I want it to be kind of, what's the word for it? I want it to look calico. I want it to be all of the shades that I have in kind of calico. And I'm going to get a little more in here, and I'm going to go back over the same spots to make them a little more bold. Okay, so something like that. I'm going to tap this brush off. A little bobber also on my trash can like that. And now I'm going to close this one up. Oh, I forgot to put that in the cap. Okay, there's that one. And then I'm going to use the gold. Now, I want a little of my brown to show through, so I'm not going to do it everywhere. Again, I want it to be a little calico. And don't worry about where the Versa mark is. It'll dry clear. And even if the cardstock is a little darker in places, that's fine because this is going to be a leaf, and we're okay with it being a little, you know, different colors. I want it to be kind of fall colors. All right, so these are kind of crossing over each other, and that's kind of what we wanted. And I'm just going to kind of work them all together now. Now, the girl I saw do this on Instagram had 3 colors of perfect pearls. I only have these 2, so I still think it's going to work because a fall leaf, it's going to look really cool in any different shade. I'm going to add some more gold. I'm going to go over the top, kind of gold it up some more, like so. And I really do like the way it's sticking to the Versamark. I will tell you this. It looks really bad in camera. In person, it's much more blended than that. I don't know why. Like, there's a lot more gold that you're not seeing. All right, so now I'm going to mist it with water. That is what sets your perfect pearls. Let me wipe my counter off just this way. Okay, and then I'm going to mist this with water to set it. You might want to use your heat tool to dry that up. I may or may not have to. I didn't use too much water. Let's see how it goes. So here it is all dry. And again, on camera, it just looks splotchy, but in person, it looks better. And it's dry and everything is set where it should be. Love it. All right, this goes through the die cut now. Now, I wanted to try the perfect pearls technique, but I will tell you, I would do this with ink dragging too. I think it'd be so pretty on a light colored piece of paper to do ink dragging like we've done before and then come back through and cut it with your Cuttlebug like this. I think the leaf would be gorgeous like that. Now, because I don't need anything but the leaf and I don't want to get it confused with other pieces, I've taken everything out except the leaf and this little background piece here. And I'm going to peel those out separately to the side in a second. And these pieces I'm not going to hold on to. I don't feel like they turned out very pretty because they were kind of the edges that I didn't really pay attention to. So those are going to not be saved. Okay, so now I can peel this guy out and start taking all the little pieces out. So that way I can see my leaf. Look how pretty that leaf looks. Can you see? I wish you had a better view of that. In person, it is so pretty. I do actually like how this piece came out. It's nice and shimmery in all the spots. That one's pretty, but that one is aside for later. This is what I need for the leaf. So I'm going to put these pieces over here to the side. So I've decided to use this green piece as my border piece for the quilt. And I'm going to glue it down to a piece of cardstock just so I can put all the pieces in like a puzzle. But I'm using white. If I were you, I wouldn't use white. I would use maybe a craft color or something, so in case you have any cracks, it won't show through. But on camera, I think you guys see better if I use white, so that's what I'm going to do today. And I'm just going to use some art glitter glue to glue it down. Okay, and I'm going to glue it in the top corner so I won't have to trim any off. And if I have to trim a little, it won't matter too much. I'm going to try to get it into the corner of that page. Just stick that down. Tell you that fine metal tip is perfect for this because you can really get all those little pieces. Isn't that beautiful just like that? Now I have a piece that's lifting right here, so I'm going to come in here and put a little glue. More than likely, when I start to stick all these pieces down, that'll stick down as well because I'm going to glue a bunch of pieces in here. Look at that. It's incredible. Okay, the next thing I want to do is decide what colors are going where and glue them down. Now, I happen to know that I wanted this plaid to go into these squares here. So I'm going to get my plaid pieces and I'm going to just kind of dry fit them here. So there's one. Here's another. Okay, the next thing I want to do, I think I want the beige or the brown, the craft color, I should say, to be in these sections. So I'm going to get those pieces. Here's one. I want to make sure I have all 4 of them. Here's this one. This one goes here. And then this guy goes here. So that's the pieces I want there because I want my leaf to pop. So I thought using the lighter color right next to that dark brown leaf would really pop. I'm going to check my piece and make sure I'm putting it in there correctly. I love these quilt die cuts. They are just the coolest thing. They really are. Fun, and they're so gorgeous. When they're done, they just look like you spent hours doing this. Tell me in the comments below if you guys still quilt. I love quilting, but I think people have gotten away from it. And I think nowadays so many people use machine quilting instead of hand quilting, which, hey, I believe if my grandma had the opportunity to machine quilt when she was younger, she would have taken the opportunity because it's a lot of work to hand quilt. All right, now I'm going to get the orange, and I want the orange to go in these squares here. Pick all of these little guys up. Make sure I have all 4 of them. Those little squares can get away from you. All right, and then we're going to glue those in. So now it's time to put the leaf pieces in. I have all of the pieces, but finding out where they go may be a little difficult. But I'm going to do a little dry run with the pieces and see what we get. Okay, I have all the pieces dry fit in, and now it's time to glue them in. I'm going to bring my tweezers over because I think they might help me to kind of pick these guys back out. And I'm just going to start in the top and glue it down. And I have to tell you, when I was placing all that together, at certain points I'd go, I don't think I have all the pieces. And then I'd find where it went, and it would work just like a puzzle. If you're a puzzle maker or a puzzle creator, you'll love this whole project. So there it is, all glued down. And can you see this shimmer? I'm hoping I can get better photos of this because the shimmer is so not showing up well in the camera, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I love how it looks on there, and that leaf just looks so rich and thick. And I think even by wetting the paper that this was on to set the perfect pearls, it kind of thickened up the paper. It's really, really pretty. All right, I'm going to cut it off of here now. So I've got it all ready to go as an embellishment on a card. And I'm kind of holding my scissors at an open bevel so that I can get I'm cutting kind of under it and beside it at the same time. Like instead of holding my scissors straight like this, I turned them at an angle. So it kind of cut at an angle and it kind of hides my white cardstock really well. And you could always ink this if you had any more white cardstock showing than you wanted to. So that is my quilt. Let me see if I can bring it up. There we go. Look at that. It doesn't look shimmery on camera. It looks splotchy, but in person, it's just a beautiful shimmer. Oh, that's so sad you can't see that. That right there is gorgeous. All right, let's put this on a card. So I'm using some lunch bag colored paper from Brutus Monroe, and I'm just going to make myself a card base here. And this is the same color we used inside the quilt itself too, so that'll kind of help to bring that out. But I want to put some pattern paper behind it. Let's score this so we can fold it. So I've got the base folded there, and now we can start to play with what we're going to put on the front. I love this kind of lifted at the top like this with some pattern underneath it. You could go in the middle with it. You could do just about anything. I do see here I got a little white edge I need to trim off. Not a big deal. I'll do that in just a second. Let's find some pattern paper to go underneath. I'm going to go back to that Fall Breeze pack and see what is in it. I'm really, really, really loving this teal and white pumpkin. Oh, I love that wood. Y'all know I do. Ooh, and the stripe is pretty. But I want to see if I can do anything with this. So what I'm going to do is take my quilt piece and lay it on there. I feel that's a little too busy, so I'm going to keep looking. I really wanted to use that piece. What is it? Is that two the same? It is. What about the stripe? Oh, too busy. Do you guys do this way? What about on the wood? Oh, it's pretty on the wood. We may have to go there. We'll see. This side is pretty as well. Let's lay this down and look at it here. That's pretty on there because that looks very quilty to me. So we're going to keep that one in mind. I've already got that plaid in there. What about this polka dot? Oh, I like how that looks on that. There's a tiny polka dot you cannot see in there, but there's a tiny, tiny polka dot. So there's that. Let me go back and see if there's anything I missed. Oh, I love this piece, but I don't think the teal is going to work. It's not. Okay, so this is orange with pumpkins. That looks really good together. Bring that up and let you see that. That looks nice because it pulls out that orange. I think that's the one we're going to use. So I'm going to tear that piece out of there. Now, because I cut myself a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base, and I want to leave a 1/16 of an inch all the way around, I need to cut this guy at 4 1/8. So not 4 1/4, 4 1/8 is my smaller piece, by 5 3/8. So here's my base, and this piece, the way we cut it, leaves a tiny sliver, a 1/16 of an inch of that showing all the way around. So now this guy will have a little border around it as well. Can you see that tiny little border it's got? And that's what I wanted. I wanted it to kind of match all the way around. I'm going to pop him up on foam because he just needs to be lifted up, I think. But I want to do something down here. I feel like I need to do a baker's twine. I don't know why that's screaming at me, baker's twine, but we're going to see. So I'm going to leave this here for just a second. So this precious piece of polka dot ribbon came to me in the Across the Mile segment. It was tied on a tag, and I thought it was too cute to toss. I don't toss much. So I kept this little piece, and I think it's going to be so cute right down here with just a little knot tied on it. So I'm going to pull this aside, and I'm going to take this little piece, and I'm going to wrap this ribbon right down here around the bottom, and then tie a little knot. So we're going to turn this over, and I'm going to use some sticky tape. And I'm just going to put some sticky tape on either side here. And this is just going to hold the ribbon when I wrap it around. So just kind of close to the bottom here. And peel this little backer piece off. And then I can wrap my ribbon. So I'm going to put it into the base here. Wrap it around. Got that a little low. I'm going to raise that up a little bit. I can just tell by looking at it. Try that again. Yep, that's better. All right, and I'm going to wrap it on the other side. Now, the only thing you want to do when you're wrapping ribbon is not get it too tight. I know we think we want it super tight, but if we get it too tight, we'll get a buckle in our page. Now, it's going to feel like it's buckling anyway until you glue it down. That's just how it'll do. But once you glue it down, you won't have that problem. I'm going to snip this off. And then I might even have enough to tie a bow. I'm going to hold on to that. We might can tie a bow after we get it attached. All right, so this piece is now going to glue to here. Just going to use my art glitter glue for that. I could use the sticky tape. I used it down here, but that tape's going to help me hold this whole guy in place. This gets glued straight down with that tiny border around the edge. I have not used ribbon on a card in a long time. Let's get some Foam Me Up, Scotty. Oh, I got to cut that little piece. Remember that white piece? Let me trim that. Do you see that tiny sliver? I got that off, but it's better because now it's not showing. All right, some Foam Me Up, Scotty. Then this guy's going to go on the top. I'm going to turn it a little bit so I can get it lined up right. There we go. That's pretty. All right, let's try to do a bow down here. Let's see if I can do a little bunny ear bow. Then I can just stick this on. I'm trying to make use of this tiny piece, so we'll see how I do. I did it. If you guys know how long I fidgeted with that bow, you would laugh. Probably not. You've probably all been in the same boat. How do I want to do my tail? That way, I think. Yep. There's our little tails. Now, I will glue this straight down just like that at the bottom, and I use my art glitter glue. I'm even going to put some underneath the ribbon to help hold it down to the card itself, and then some on top. And I want to show you a little trick I have. I put my little bow wherever I want to. I put my ribbon piece down, and then I place a block on it to hold it. Once I've got that there, I just put a little block down, and that will hold it there until it dries, and then we are ready to send this card. I love how that turned out. I do not like that you guys cannot see it in camera. It is not nearly as pretty. I will try to take some pictures to show you better, but the Perfect Pearls really turned out pretty on there, and you could do so much. And I still have all these pieces. Look, I still have this piece with some Perfect Pearls on it. I still have this orange piece. I haven't even pulled all of the pieces out of yet. See this? I still have an orange leaf. I still have tan that I can work with, and I still have the pieces for the green. They're over here. I still have the pieces that came out of this middle section, so I can mix and match even more, and I just had to cut through the pages just that 5 times, and I can assemble it all different ways. I love these dies. I think they're beautiful. I can't pick this up yet. It's still drying, but it is perfect for what I was trying to do. I wish you could see the shimmer. I'll try. If I can get some shimmer, I will have put pictures in here for you to see it, and you'll be able to know what that looks like. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this one. It was super fun to do, and I love it when you guys say, yes, try it. We want to see it. This is one of those fun things. I'd never done this before. What would I change? Let's do that. Let's do a what would I change about this card segment if I made it again. I wouldn't use the plaid. I think I'd use a small floral, like a tiny floral in there, maybe that leaf print or something. And I would definitely not glue this quilt to white cardstock, because even though on camera you're not seeing it very much, I can see a little white showing through there. I wouldn't do that again. What else might I not do? You know, next time I might try making this on a 6x6 card so I have a little more room to play with pattern. That's kind of fun to tell you what I might do different next time on a card that I did for the first time. I hope you enjoyed that one. Hey, if you make one of these, you know I want to see it over on our customer gallery at maymaymadeit.com. We love to see what you guys are doing. And if you need some inspiration, there are almost 2,000 posts with inspiration from products we carry in our store. So if there's a stamp set or a die set or something you've purchased from us you want to see how to use, that's a great place to get some information and some more inspiration. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.